gentlemen, I am here with Torrey Drake. Should I introduce you as Torrey Drake? Or do
you can introduce me as Torrey Drake. Hell yeah.
Cool. Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Can I swear on the podcast? Is that?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
Alright, cool. That's all I need to hear. Oh no, sorry.
Tell everyone a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do.
Yeah, so like Joe said, my name is Torrey Drake. I'm a filmmaker as of 2017 and an actor.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. What got you into acting and filmmaking?
Definitely being bullied. Actually, very, very intensely being bullied. Growing up, I spent most of my 6th grade through 8th grade actually in bathrooms, hiding from people during lunch and recess and things like that. Because I couldn't walk around my own school. Then in high school, to summarize it quickly, freshman year I became a bully to be left alone. I couldn't really maintain that very well because it's not who I was. So I went back just being myself, and then I got me back to being bullied. So I found sanctuary in theater in high school, and that's where I really made friends, and it gave me a safe place to go and a place to look forward to every day.
Okay. How does the being bullied translate to getting into, like, how is acting the release from that?
The bullies weren't in theater. They were, at first it was really that. They just weren't there. So it's like, well, this immediately is a safe place to go. And then that's what got me in the door. And then getting to just be someone else. I don't think I was like smart enough at the time to figure out that's what it was. But it was just nice to like not be Torrey for a little bit. At least pretend not to be Torrey for a little bit. And then just the people there. They're still my best friends today. We all moved out to LA together to be filmmakers. And we all live within a mile of each other, and we just get together all the time to make stuff.
How many people is in this group?
Like 5. There's like 5 people.
That's solid.
Yeah. There's like the core 4 or 5 of us who grew up together in that town and moved out here. Then we obviously made friends, and so there's probably about 10 of us that get together every week and just talk and get together and stuff.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah. I did theater in high school, and now that you say it, you're right. It's such a getaway to go to those practices. It was like the most non-judgmental, like...
Oh, totally.
Like a free-spirited group of people you've ever met. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's so cool. And then now, coming out here, you're working on 12 short films. How does one take on such a venture?
Yeah. So in February of this year, 2017, I had never written, produced, directed any of that other stuff that goes on behind the camera. I'd only ever acted. And I was like, booking some things here and there, but I was like, God, I want to be around more creative people. And I was looking at people who I thought were creative, who I wanted to work with. And maybe it's egotistical, but I was like, I want to be one of those people that people look at, like, oh, he's a creative person, he's making stuff, and I just wasn't that person to anyone. And so I was like, I'm going to go make a short film. And so I went to go make one. I wrote one, and I was like, hey, that actually wasn't so hard to write one. Okay, that's not so bad. And then I got in production. I was like, hey, this wasn't so bad either. And then like 2 days before we were shooting it, it was about to get canceled for complications. And I got so angry that I wasn't able to do one short film. I was like, I'm going to do 12 of these this year. If it makes me broke, it makes me broke. If it makes me homeless, it makes me homeless. I'm just going to make these 12 films or die trying this year. And I'm on film 10 right now with the other 3 already prepped and ready to go. The 2 prepped and ready to go.
That's crazy. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Thank you.
How long does it take to film like one of them?
Oh man, they're all different. They're all so different. Like on set?
Yeah, just from like start to finish, like the whole...
Yeah. Actually about a month. And so I have a vendetta against a lot of filmmakers who I think they enjoy how hard filmmaking quote unquote can be, and they want to really take their time with it. My goal is to get it made.
Yeah.
I rather have it made and imperfect than perfect in my head and not out there. That's my whole philosophy on it. It's just get it made. Don't sacrifice quality. Just don't spend 3 weeks doing unnecessary rewrites just so you can stay in a safe space and not having to make anything and not having to put it out there. I have no problem putting something out there that sucks. Like, I'm gonna do my best at it. I'm gonna write the best script I can. I'm gonna do the best rewrites I can. I'm gonna listen to notes. I'm gonna do everything a filmmaker does. I'm just not gonna wait around. I'm just not gonna take overly long at it to protect myself. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's being effective, but not wasting time.
Yeah, it's not wasting time. Yeah. It's just people. I think a lot of times we want to do things that make us feel like we're productive, but don't have anything to do with what Seth Godin, you probably read, called shipping. where people like to sit down and do meetings. It feels productive. At the end of the day, is that really necessary? Is it really pushing a product forward? And if it's not, then don't do it. And that's what my whole philosophy this year is. People have wanted to do meetings about scripts. I'm like, no.
No. You're able to lay your foot down.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to meet about it. I want to make it.
I've noticed out here in general, I'm from the East Coast, it's very fast paced over there.
Yeah.
And it very much mimics what you're saying. Like, it's very, get it done, be done yesterday if you can.
Oh, dude, so true, so true.
And I've noticed being out here, everyone is so slow. Like, if they can delay something, they will delay it.
Dude,
it's the most
I don't know what it is.
process.
Okay, actually, I do know what it is. I know exactly what it is. I know exactly what it is. And I'm not that good at explaining this yet. But, and if I'm alienating anybody, I'm sorry, but also not really. I think filmmakers, if they have something in their head, the longest in their head they can convince themselves it's a great idea. And anyone who doesn't think it's a great idea, if they pitch it to it, they're like, they can't say like, oh, they just don't get it. They just don't get it. In my head, it's great. But the moment it's out of their head into the world can judge it. And they want to stay out of that realm as long as possible. They won't, because it makes them feel good that other people just don't get it, or they can pitch it in a way that they will get it, but they don't see the other parts of it that may not be good. But once it's out there, it's out there, and you can't.
It's the real deal. It's the full.
Right, and people are gonna watch it without you being there to justify certain things, and people are so scared that they want to avoid it for so long. And I just try to take the opposite approach of like, I just don't care. I just want to make it is the philosophy.
That's so true. Like, you can apply that to anything outside of film.
True.
Like your career, your passion. It's so much easier to say, oh, well, you've never, like, you don't know how I've pictured, so you don't get it.
Yeah.
So you can hide behind that always.
Totally.
In fact, I forgot what guest or what interview I was listening to where they brought that up, where they said the same answer. It was that we stall, like, because my whole thing was finding out how do you go from like, oh, I want to be a writer to actually being a writer. And the big thing was people just let it sit in their heads because they're afraid to put it out there.
Oh, dude, so true.
Yeah.
So true.
And I'm glad you brought that up because that segues us into exactly what I'm trying to do is blow the lid off that motherfucker. And figure out like what lies underneath. Like, why? Let's get into that nitty gritty. Like, why does that person so like scared of all that, and like how they overcome it and things like that.
Yeah.
So, in that realm, and this could be whether it was in film or just in your life in general, what was a time where like you had good feedback and had bad feedback, and what were like your lessons that you learned?
Good feedback on the films?
Yeah, it could either be whether it was while you're making films or just in your childhood, whatever you find strikes more.
Oh man, good feedback, like advice. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Advice. Funny enough, it came with bullying actually. At one point, I found out. Well, I didn't find out. But long story short, the bullies, I had a car that I was very proud of, and they literally spread shit, literal human shit, caked the whole car.
That's messed up.
Yeah, I don't know how they pulled that off. Like,
what was the reasoning? They just did not like you.
Just didn't like me because that's the craziest thing. I never really did anything to them. If I did, I'd be honest about it. And I got so angry. And I was the biggest one. I was working out. I was stronger then than I am now. Like, I worked out a ton back then.
Yeah.
And I was so heated. I was gonna go. I was in my head. I was gonna go to baseball bat. I was gonna destroy their car. I was gonna go destroy them. And my dad was there. He was like, "You can go do that if you want. You totally can, but don't start a war with someone who's willing to take it further than you are."
That's such a good point.
And I was just like, I sat down. He didn't tell me, "Don't do that. Get better than this. You're gonna make a bad person. You're gonna be like them." He didn't say that at all. He just said, all of a sudden he put in my mind, I'm not going to go do that. It's the end of it. They're going to strike back and do something worse. And I probably won't have it in me to take it further than they are. So I was like, I'm going to lose. And so it wasn't even about like, be a righteous person. It was like, I'm going to lose this war. Like, I just don't have this in me to go further than they do. And it calmed me down. I don't know if it calmed me down, but it took that action out of me.
It changed your perspective on everything.
Immediately. So that's, honestly, I think about that all the time. And it applies to so many different areas of life. Just don't start a war with someone who will take it further than you, because you will lose, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's been life-changing to me.
Yeah.
And kept me from doing some stupid shit.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it kept me from doing some stupid shit. Like, oh man, he's gonna take it further than me.
Yeah. What about bad feedback?
Bad feedback. Oh man.
Something where it was
think
like,
about it. Maybe like the term "think about it."
Okay.
Like I don't know who said it to me, but like I think no. Here's when I hear this, I had to tell my mom one time. I was like, never say that to me again. And we were very close. I was talking to her about this film I wanted to do. She's like, be more reasonable. And I was like, Mom, I love you to the world and back, but never say that to me again. And she was like, because she knows how I am. She's like, I'm sorry, you're right. Be reasonable. My film production company is called Unreasonable Films.
Oh,
literally, that's the name. It's Unreasonable Film. That's my hashtag. It goes on all the credits on my films. It's Unreasonable Films. I want to be as unreasonable as possible.
I love that because we had a former guest on here, who's a music producer, Marcus Singleton.
Yeah.
He talks about how in his freshman year of high school or something, that you report on what you want it to be. And he wrote that he wants to be an audio engineer. And he put in all the work, did everything that should have gotten him a B or an A or whatever he needed. And the teacher gave him a C. And the only reason the teacher gave him a C was because she said, it was something like you have to lower your expectations. In other words, be reasonable. Like, she was projecting her insecurity and lack of success on the fact that, like, oh, this is so unlikely for you, make it more realistic. And
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a teacher?
Yeah, that's a teacher.
Scary.
Someone, and that adds to my, grudge against the education system.
Oh, yeah, we could dive into that for sure. We really could, man. We really could dive into that one.
Before we do, it is time for our first round of games.
Okay.
Every time I'm going to have a new intro for my games of song I'm going to make. So my song this time is... I'm
glad you're doing that. I don't have to do it.
It's game time. Okay. So what we're going to do is think fast. So we're going to have...
I regret giving you this app. I regret so much.
I'm using the Ellen's app, by the way. What was it called again?
Heads Up.
Heads Up. Got a ton of games on here, which means I'm gonna have a ton of fun with this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play. So we're gonna have it play, and I want you to, when you see it, I want you to give me the first thing it makes you think of.
Okay.
So you get to see it. I don't have to act it out.
Okay.
Just give me the first association you have with it. Yeah.
Okay.
And then maybe even an emotion tied with it.
Okay. Yeah.
Here we go.
All right. I like this version of it. It's not a lot less stressful.
Cat.
My brother. He's obsessed. What the fuck is that?
Crawfish.
Yeah. What the fuck is that? That's gross.
Fish. Gross. Swordfish.
Badass.
Porcupine.
Annoying. I don't know why, but
Sheep.
That's the first thing that came to my mind. Hermit crab. Oh, cute.
Woodpecker.
Oh, cartoons for sure. Cartoons.
Great white shark.
Oh, biggest fear, hands down. Biggest fear.
Elephant.
Africa.
Do one more.
Really hope. Steve Irwin.
Cool. How did that feel at first go?
I think that cow thing was funny. I was like, oh, my brother. Like, it's a running joke that he's obsessed with them.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
So now you'll do...
I can do you?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'll do the first.
Okay. Do you want me to say the animal? Okay.
Just so people can hear.
Clam.
Like moist and weird.
Meerkat.
Discovery Channel Timon from Lion King.
Bee.
Goose. Oh, you silly goose.
Cougar.
Oh, you ladies out there.
I knew. I'm like, please go that route.
Hedgehog. Sonic. Sega.
Hell yeah, dude. Centipede.
I think of that creepy movie, The Human Centipede.
Dude, great choice. Praying Mantis.
I think like Bruce Lee, Kung Fu, Praying Mantis.
Nailed it. Tadpole.
I think of First Grade.
Oh, that's a good one. Alligator.
I think of that alligator chomp motion.
Donkey.
Shrek. Donkey.
Nailed it. Moose.
Canada.
You got this one. Lamb.
Lamb
Go. One more. Time's up. That was good. You got it.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll go one more round.
Okay.
Where are we going? Let's go a different topic now. Let's go.
Right.
Icons, legends, and stars.
Okay. And same idea? Association?
Yeah.
Okay. Icons, legends, and superstars.
Colin Firth.
The King's Speech. I forget who that is, man. I forget who that is.
Like historian, like back in the day.
I just don't know. I just don't know.
Tupac.
I auditioned for his movie. I auditioned for his movie, the latest one. I didn't book it.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Angela Lansbury.
Lovely.
Jack Nicholson.
Oh, God. Legend. That's legend.
Marley Matlin.
No, don't know who it is.
Yeah. Tom Jones.
Another legend.
Javier Bardem.
Oh, Mother. The movie that just came out.
I haven't seen it, but
Nuts.
it looks creepy.
Bananas. Bananas movie. Oh my God.
Dylan McDermott.
Oh, I know who that is, but he's blonde, right? He does like white trashy roles a lot, right? I think.
Maybe.
Mixed Emotions. Mel Brooks.
Okay.
Mixed Emotions.
Helen Mirren.
Awesome. There we go.
Sweet.
All right. Okay.
All right, here we go. Last round.
Mother Teresa.
Saint.
Bonnie Raitt.
Not as familiar with her music.
Anastasia.
Skip. Elvis Presley. Oh, Porta Mama.
Danny Glover. Ooh.
Blowing Up.
Blowing Up for all the right reasons.
Yeah.
Jessica
Chastain. I think space movies.
That's true.
Dennis Leary. Sarcastic. Winston Churchill. Insert famous quote.
Insert famous quote.
Jesse Jackson. Could have been president.
Could have been.
Tommy Hilfiger. Clothes I wore as a kid.
True that.
Ronald Reagan. President.
real creative there.
Living in John. Grease. Summer loving. Catherine Bigelow. Hurt Locker.
Yeah.
Billy Crystal. City Slickers.
Nice. Got it right in there.
Sweet.
Really appreciate really creative work on that president one.
I like to think real outside the box, And
Oh yeah.
See where it
I mean,
goes.
I wouldn't. Not like I don't know what else to say either.
So let's get into like life worth living. One of the things I'm
Sure.
trying to really dive into is what makes a life worth living. We were kind of talking about this before we got on started recording. It was just like what it's not necessarily the job you do, it's the quality of your life. Like how do you know you're enjoying what you're doing, et cetera, et cetera. So what's the thing, it's sounding like it's career right now, but what's the thing you value the most? Usually it's either career, relationships, or their side hustle.
It's all of it, man. I think it's not limiting yourself to just saying I am just this one thing.
Okay.
Man, I really think it's everything. Like, I love the time when I'm with my friends. I just love that time I spend with my friends because when I'm working, I'm loving the work. And when I just think whatever you're doing, if you are really focused on what you want in life and you're working on it, you should be able to let yourself enjoy the time where you just are doing something else. Like with my puppy right now, man, when I'm with my puppy, that's all I'm doing. That's like, and it's not easy for me because when I'm playing with him, I'm like, oh, I've got this email to do, I've got this to do, that to do. We've all got a million things. But I really try to just like, hey man, I'm with my dog right now. Just be with your dog.
How do you bring up a good point, because at least for me, my head's always racing, whether it's past, future. It's hard to stay so in the present moment. So how did you like cultivate that mentality to be like, when I'm on my career, I'm focused on my career. When I'm with my family, I'm focused on family.
Yeah, definitely still working on cultivating it. For me, I think it's two-part. I listen to Andy Frisella. I don't know if you know him on Instagram.
From First Form.
Yeah, diehard fan of his. And he has a thing he does where he calls his critical task list, where he does 5 things a day. He has 5 things a day. He maps out that are not busy work, but effective, productive work. And if you have other things you got to do in the day, like get laundry, do dishes, that doesn't. You need to do your 5 productive things and then move your life forward. As long as you do those, you've done what he calls win the day. You've won the day. So I try to focus on the 5 things I can do. As long as I can get those done by the end of the day, I can put other things in between. That and my dad, who I love to death, pieces, very, very close with him. He's not able to shut off, and it's always been a problem in the family. And I just don't want to be that way. So I tell myself like, hey, you want to be different. You don't want to be able to not shut off. You want to be able to enjoy just sitting with your dog. You want to be able to enjoy just sitting and having a cup of coffee before you do the 5 things. So it's really just, for me, it's understanding 2-part. 1, I still know exactly what I need to do that day to move forward in my life and in the avenues of my life I want to work on, while also having the personal goal of being different than the family life I saw. Okay. With great family life, that was a complication in it, was my dad not able to ever relax.
Okay.
Yeah, if that makes sense.
How do you make sure, because I'm sure there's days you might get distracted or start worrying about other things, how do you kind of incorporate making sure that you're present like that?
If it's the person, I found it's pretty easy just to make it about them. Just listen to them. If you're the other person, just listen to them and put all your attention on them. That's a really easy way to just be in the moment. Just listen to whoever you're with, and that's a great, note for acting as well. But for me, it's like, if I'm with someone and tell me a story, I just listen to the story and not listen with the intent to respond, but just listen with the intent to listen. That really works well for me. When I'm by myself, still figuring that one out. Still figuring that out. So yeah, I mean, with people, most of us are with people most of the time, so that's the greatest thing, is just to listen to them. And it's crazy how easily you can relax when you know the things you need to get done anyway. Because if you don't know what you're doing that day, listening to someone, it's hard to relax because you're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do today. I'm supposed to do something. But if you're like, oh, I can just chill for 10 minutes and listen to this person's story, or relax a moment. That no, after this, I got to do this, got to do that, got to do this, and then I'll be productive for the day.
Okay. Yeah. And then what about the moment something stops becoming fun? I notice, myself included, that because it's hard to change a habit, we tend to stick around doing stuff, whether it's a job, whether it's one of those things, a job, relationship. We stick around when we know it's no longer serving us. How do you escape that without?
Yeah, well, I think there's 2 parts to that. One, something stops becoming fun in an avenue that you love. Like, let's say filmmaking. I hate contracts. I hate it, but you just got to do it and get through it. And you just got to. What I always say, if there's something I don't want to do that I need to do, my catchphrase for myself is, "Fuck your feelings, Torrey. Go do the shit you know you should do. Like, be an adult. Don't be a child." That's the way I speak to myself. If that resonates with whoever's listening, that's great. But I really am hard on myself as far as don't be a child. Like, go do shit you know you should do. You're not 5 years old. But if it's genuinely something that, like, I'm working a job, I just don't like it. I don't know, man. I just don't want to do things I don't want to do. If they're not serving my life in any way, I think I always tell myself I don't owe anybody my time. Like, no one owns me. I don't owe anybody my time. I can donate my time and give my time to others, but I don't know. Like, you don't owe anybody at your job your time. There's a million jobs out there you can work. I don't know, if you're not enjoying it, why would you? I just don't connect with that thought process of sticking with something. I just would leave.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then what about like knowing to quit versus when to keep going? So you were talking about sometimes you just got to be an adult, but then sometimes there's certain cases where you have to learn to just walk away.
Right. Oh man, there's some situations where I would say never quit, and some situations where like, yeah, you should quit. Like when it comes to relationships, if relationships really becoming toxic, you should quit. I think you gotta look. I think that it's hard to make a blanket statement, but I think the best I could try the blanket statement is it serving the future you want to create? Do you believe that sticking through this will help serve the future that you want? If the answer is yes to that, you need to stick through. If the answer is no, then you probably need to let it go. And sometimes it's hard to tell, but that's one of those times where who goes through life without making mistakes? Maybe you're gonna make a wrong call sometimes. So the real question is, why is that a bad thing to make a wrong call? Why is that bad to make the wrong choice? I think fear of making the wrong choice scares people into inaction for years. When people need to embrace, like, hey, I might screw this up by making this choice, but I need to do something, or else I'm just gonna stay static. I'm gonna not move. I think we just need to always be moving, always be moving, always be making choices, not afraid of making a wrong choice.
Okay.
Maybe it's gotten me into trouble before, and I'm not saying it's perfect, but I'm saying, like, hey, you'll probably get shit done that way. You'll probably keep moving your life forward that way.
Okay. Yeah. Always. Yeah. I like that outlook on it, because I think I know for myself, I get stuck in ruts a lot, and I don't take the time to step back and ask myself those types of questions. Yeah,
that's really the question I always find myself going to. Is this, for me, it's being on a TV show, being an Emmy-winning actor is what I always tell myself.
So then what do you do? So what would be like your end goal in terms of life fulfillment, not necessarily career
right.
success, what would be like I would feel the most achieved and like
happy? Oh man, it's for sure, as silly as it sounds, just being able to have made choices in my life that allow me to have a family that I can just do whatever I want whenever I want with. I just love the idea of being married, having kids, and not having to worry about money, not having to worry about being a good example for my kids. I just want to make the right choices throughout my life that allow me just to be able to wake up on any day of the week and to spend as much time I want with my family and go to work if I want to and build something together with that family. That's to me the goal. That's what excites me the most and what keeps me going the most is thinking about that future family. Like every choice I make affects the possibility of that family or the impossibility of that family happening.
Okay. So how do you then aim your current goal of making the films towards that future?
I just do whatever I can to move myself forward, trusting it'll all work out. I don't, whether for better or for worse, I don't try to make a grand plan. I just say, what's within my resources can I do to get closer to my goal of being on TV? And then I just do what I can from there. Right now it's the films and pushing those films towards bigger agents and casting directors, which I've been doing. And then from that, it'll give me an audition. Like, okay, how can I turn this audition into the show? And then once I get on the show, okay, how can I turn the show into owning real estate as well and doing this and to create more income? And how do I turn all of this into just a bigger and bigger, just one step at a time? I have no idea how these 12 films are going to turn into that family, but I have a pretty good idea of how those 12 films can help me get noticed by more casting directors and most importantly, respected by those casting directors who I want to respect my work. So I know how one connects to two, but I have no idea how one connects to 100, you know?
Nice. No, that makes sense. That's cool. And the reason I asked that was because I'm sure if people are listening and I'm sure they have their own struggles with that,
right.
Like how does A get to B and like people's perspective.
I just try to get from A to B, then B to C. I know what Z is. I know where I want to end up. I have no idea how A is going to get there, but I know how I can get from A to B. Then I'm at B, I'm like, oh, I see C. I can do this to get to C. Then, oh, I'm at C. I can go to D now. And then hopefully it'll all work out to Z.
Yeah. No, I like that because it shows, again, it goes back to you learning to be present in the moment. And so you can't work, while obviously that's what you want ultimately, you can't worry about your present predicament towards how it's necessarily relating to that because you've got to focus on like what's serving you right now.
Yeah. It's like, I 100% agree with exactly what you said. It's basically like breaking down a big goal into steps and then just taking the steps that you can take, and the ones you can't take you just wait until you can or work until you can and you take that step when you can. It's just literally one to-do list item at a time. I told myself when I was making these 12 films and I was on film 1, like I have no idea. I remember this so perfectly. I was like the first day I made the goal, I was like, I've never written, produced, directed before aside from that first film. That was part of the 12. And I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to do these 12 films, but I just bet if I take it one day at a time and know what each film needs to get done, I bet it will work out. And we're completely on track to be fine. And I always would I get tons of anxiety. I stay up late at night. I get tons of anxiety, like on film 3, 4, and 5. Like, can I really do this? This is really hard. It's expensive. And I was just like, Torrey, all you can do is know what needs to be done for each film and do it. So just do that and trust it'll work out. And I can see the finish line. We're not there yet, but every film is written. Every film, we have 3 left. It has a shoot date, it has a cast, and we're good to go.
Nice.
We'll finish probably by December 15th. 12 films will be done.
That's so cool. Yeah. And if people want to see them real quick, how can they see them?
That's the bummer part. Is they can follow me on Instagram. Then starting next year, I'll be posting them. I'll be posting them. But right now, they're all in festivals and things like that. And I haven't had time to post get marketing stuff together for it, as I've been trying to make them. But next year I'm gonna start releasing them and marketing for like 3 or 4 days and releasing. But if people want to watch them, man, or to see what I'm doing, or to work together on a film, I'm doing a feature next year to sell it. Just follow me on Instagram, hit me up, message me, and let's talk. And I want to engage with people and work with people and help people, and screw it, I want people to help me too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the best thing to do is follow me on there, just at Torrey Drake, and I'll be posting about it probably in January and February.
Okay, cool. we're going to transition to a second game.
Okay. Okay, let's do it.
Round 2. This one is going to be Superstars. So this one will be more charadesy.
Oh, okay. So what am I doing? Right.
So we're going to do it where...
Oh, God. I have to do impersonations. Oh, God.
No, we'll do if you can, if you can do the impersonation, do it. Otherwise, just describe them.
If there's anything I'm bad at, it's accents, impersonations, and singing. I'm sorry, if anything I'm bad at tons of things. But those are the 3 main things I'm bad at. I'm bad at so many things.
Here we go.
Oh God. King of kids comedy movies. I don't know impersonation. Long head, punch drunk love is a famous movie.
Adam Sandler.
Yes. Oh, that's Adam Lambert. Maroon 5.
Adam Levine.
Who's Adam Lambert?
Oh, other singer.
Ah, damn it. Okay, let's give it. Yeah, there you go. Broken Nose.
Owen Wilson. Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, no, yeah. You got the first. It was the first one. Breaking Bad.
Bryan Cranston.
Oh yeah. Skip it. Twilight.
Robert Pattinson.
Oh yeah.
Oh shoot.
Big Little Lies.
Actress.
Other one.
Nicole Kidman.
No, damn. Was she? Wait, I'm so bad at this sometimes. Cate Blanchett. Was she? There was Nicole Kidman. Damn it. Damn it. It was Adam Lambert. I thought Adam Levine, and then I thought Adam Sandler for some reason.
That's all good.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Switch it up.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm gonna be good.
Oh God, I'm so glad the pressure's off me right now. I'm so happy.
Superstar.
Oh, Ryan Seacrest?
She plays this character in SNL. Superstar.
I don't know SNL.
Cheerleader. Skip it. Molly Shannon.
Oh, I got that.
Skip. Sin City. She was the chick in Sin City.
Oh, no, not Jennifer Garner.
She.
You have the worst partner, man. I'm really bad at this stuff.
She was in Rent. She was in that Will Smith movie.
Which one?
What was it called? Like 5 pounds or
7
something?
pounds? Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Begins with an R.
Shoot.
Skip it.
Who was it?
Rosario Dawson.
Damn it.
Skip it. Oh, these are tough right now. Speaking of Will Smith, he has a wife.
Jada.
Yes.
Jada. Okay. Oh no.
You've been pumped.
Ashton Kutcher.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Was it Ashton Kutcher?
Yeah.
That was. Hey, got it. Nice.
Nice.
Oh man, I've always been so bad at these games.
That's all good. For this one, what we'll do is we'll switch off every other one. So I'll do one, you do one.
Oh damn. Okay.
We'll go speed round.
Okay.
Here we go. Final speed round.
Oh god. Oh, Netflix comedy special, female comedy, wore leather when she did her special.
Sarah Silverman?
Got horrifically ridiculed for being not funny.
Whitney Cummings?
No. She makes fun of herself for being overweight all the time.
I'm trying to blank.
Super famous female comedian right now.
Am I trying to
like the most famous female comedian right now.
It's embarrassing.
She did movie. Amy Schumer.
Oh
no. Alright, go.
My bad. Did a movie with Ashton Kutcher, died of a drug overdose. Gotta go depressing.
Amy Winehouse?
No, she was in Clueless. These are tough.
Damn. Give me some more.
Skip it. The president. Former president of the United States. That was my horrible impression.
Wait. George W. Bush? Obama?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So bad. I saw.
You saw. People say I look like him every day, dude.
No, I could see it.
I was literally on set the other day, and someone came up to me. She's like, I'm sorry about your breakup with Anna Faris." I was like,
No,
she didn't actually think it was me, but she was making the joke that I look just like Chris Pratt.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I listened to Anna Faris's podcast. She's got a good one out. Hers is more just like lifestyle. Talks to some.
Oh, she has one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called Unqualified.
Unqualified.
And there was my rep for that one right
I
there.
know, there you go. I get paid for that one.
Yeah. So going back to what we were saying, now I can make my confession. It's funny we're ending that last topic on how you can't like harp on A to B to Z. You just got to go for it step by step. Because just before you were coming, I was harping on it big time myself. I've been, between wanting to do this podcast and other stuff I've been trying to do, they're very creative endeavors. So it's something that you can't really be doing a 9 to 5 for necessarily. And because of that, I've got all these odd end jobs. And one of the biggest things I've been battling with is some of the jobs stick around, some of them get lost because they either don't need us on staff anymore or whatever the reason is. And because I've been having such a roller coaster ride with that, I've been hitting my slump now, truth be told, because now I'm just kind of hitting like that, you know, should I still be doing this? Maybe I should just do a 9 to 5. I'm really focusing on A to Z instead of just the next step. And so it's cool to hear like your take on how to just focus on B rather than Z.
Yeah.
Because that was.
I think what driver sounds crazy. I'm sorry to hear you're going through that, man.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, it's always hard. But I think the longer you focus on Z, the longer you're just gonna drive yourself crazy.
Yeah.
Because how do you do that? How do you go from just A to Z, man? I can't even think of a good analogy for it. It's just so hard. If you look at B, you're like, oh, I can do that.
It's an actionable.
Yeah, it feels good. You're like, oh, I can do that.
Yeah, and that's ultimately what I had to do. Once I kind of saw myself spinning downward into like just
Yeah.
I had to just stop and like recognize, all right, don't think so. Don't give yourself such a hard time. Just focus on your next step and just go from there.
Oh man, I think that there's this big CEO I used to follow on Instagram. I don't want to give him a shout out. He turned out to be my mic fell off. I don't want to really give him a shout out because he turned out to be a really actually shitty person, and his Instagram really went downhill from there. But he did say something really interesting. Is he built a multi-million-dollar company that he said he built it off the back of one question: what's next? And it was just done, cool, did this, what's next? Do that, what's next? Done, what's next? Done, what's next? And he said he built his multi-million-dollar company off that. Nice. Granted, it turns out he did some wrong things, and the company went down, and he went down a little bit too. But I think there's something to be said about that.
Yeah. You know, I think we'll be saying about you with Unreasonable.
Unreasonable films, yeah.
That's gonna be the next one.
Yeah.
The big thing I'm trying to get into with this podcast is the different masks we wear. Mm-hmm. So for you growing up, what's the mask you had to wear that got you through the tough times and held you from being vulnerable?
Man, I don't know if I did wear a mask. I mean, just the mask that like, yeah, it's not that bad, like to my parents or things like that, but they knew. I mean, I don't think I did put on a mask. I think it was pretty much on my sleeve how much it all sucked and hurt. My freshman year I became the bully. I started working out, so that was a definite mask, actually, where I was starting fights. That first day of high school, I got kicked out for calling my teacher a C word. Yeah, that's wanted to establish, like, don't mess with me. It's funny.
Alpha male presence.
Totally. But the funny thing is like, I only got in one, like, actual fist fight. It was so stupid. I was freshman, I was like 13. But I tried to start him, like, almost every day. But the entire time I was like, what, you want to go? Inside my head, I'm like, please don't throw out fight me. I don't want to fight. I don't want to do this. It was just a mask, man. It was really just, I wanted to be left alone. I wanted to be like safe. I wanted so bad for my high school years not to be like the other years, being bullied and hiding. I wanted so bad not to just have friends, but I wanted so bad for people to want to be my friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wanted so bad for someone to be like, oh, Torrey? Oh yeah, man, it's so cool. Like, you know, I want to be his friend. It wasn't just like, I want a friend. I wanted so much more than that because I felt so robbed of that for no reason. I didn't do anything. I just was like chosen.
How did you work towards overcoming that alpha mask taking over?
How did I work out of the mask or into it?
Yeah, or out of it.
Out of it. It was really, once again, just ripped off of me. I would more say than me taking it off is, I can't remember any moment where I was like, I just can't really maintain this anymore, but it was like, you can only not be yourself for so long. And I just wanted to I quit the wrestling team, and I'm sorry for using this word right now, but it's what I was called. I hate this word, but I hope people listening can understand the context I'm using it. I quit the wrestling team, and even my coach was like, oh, that faggot is going to go do theater now. And please forgive me for that word. I think it's a disgusting word, but just to give some context to the story. And that's just everyone, dude. everyone, my town, that coach is like, I couldn't be left alone by anybody. So I went to theater. And at that point, this really was the taking off of it, of like, this is what I want to do. I like doing theater, I like doing plays, I like being with these people. Instead of being with like the wrestlers, I was like with the theater kids, and I was like, these are my people, this is who I am. And with that mask coming off came the harassment again, and I couldn't go anywhere. My account had been flipped off, or called that F word that I said earlier. Anywhere, I couldn't go anywhere, man. My house was egged. There's $2,000 of damages caused to my house in one night. We had like over 8 of those easily. My car was vandalized constantly. It was everything, man. Everything and everywhere I went.
That's crazy, and what sucks about that is it's not even about you wearing a mask. It's about everyone else's mask and not being able to confront who they are. Because obviously there's an even bigger insecurity driving all those people to feel the need to say those words and do that to your car. Like, that's so beyond messed up.
Yeah, so it was not fun. It's not fun. I'll tell you that.
Which leads me to like the even bigger point is we always struggle. This includes maybe you in that moment, but definitely everyone there, whether they realize it or not. We struggle with not feeling good enough. Like we have some capacity where we're just we struggle with that because we're comparing ourselves to other people. Why do we feel that? Why do you think those people felt the need to do that?
Oh man, maybe because they didn't want to be picked on either, or it made them feel good. It probably felt good. When I was bullying people, it was a really weird sense of like, it felt good to feel powerful. It felt good to feel like I could affect someone else, and to not be in that position. It's a really cheap, cowardly way to have a little bit of power. I believe that's what it is. Totally.
But then that brings up the bigger, even deeper question is, why do people feel the need to have that power? For you, it was because you had gotten so bullied, you wanted the shoe to be on the other foot for once.
Yeah.
I'm sure it felt nice to like not have to be the one that was getting picked on and transfer that power. So.
Man, why do you feel that way?
Yeah.
Whew. We gotta get the Dalai Lama on for that question. I don't know. I really don't.
So then, if you could, dare I say it, speak to those people or speak to the younger self, and for people trying to open themselves up more and show who the real us is, rather than I'm gonna try and vandalize you and disrespect you. How do I just let go of that insecurity and open myself up more? How can other people open themselves up more so we could see the real us and you kind of get rid of that hate?
So the question is, how do we
open
make sure
ourselves
I answer your question? Open ourselves up more. Man, I would say it's just. I don't want to leave like a 30-second silence on podcast. That's a deep question, man.
We can come back to it. Also.
Yeah, let's come back to that one. I don't want to give a cheap answer.
This one I call our dancing in the mirror moment. So this might help kind of fire up the brain cells for that. But I call it your dancing when you think no one's looking. That's when we're our truest selves. Like when we're home alone. And what is Torrey when no one else is looking? What does that look like? Describe that to us. Like if you didn't have to wear any more masks and you were that theater guy and you could be whoever the hell you wanted to be, who is that?
Dude, that's me watching Stranger Things. Like that feeling of just magic on screen. Yeah. And it's not just Stranger Things on Netflix. Make sure you get paid for that. It's just me watching TV, good quality TV, and just being mesmerized and it feels to me it's the equivalent of when you're a kid in bed and your dad's reading you the best bedtime story ever. Yeah. It's that. I just like to be on the couch in pajamas watching TV and being swept away in this mystical tale that someone had spent their years of their life, if not their life, bringing to light. Like I had this a friend of mine who watches TV like while they're doing laundry. I'm like, your people spend millions of dollars to make that moment, and people spend their lives working on their craft as a DP, as an actor, as a sound guy, and you're doing laundry while it's on, and these people put their lives on the line for this. That blows my mind. And so I love to just sit, do nothing else, and watch art. And for me, that's TV. Yeah. For me, that's good, strong TV, like Stranger Things or Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones.
What about in terms of relationships with other people? If you had to be in front of a group and they had to see the real you, what does that look like?
That just looks like anyone who gets super, super giddy whenever like I get to do something I love, or people love what I do, or I just get so like I'm literally like a teenager when I'm watching TV. Like I literally get so, I'm like talking to the characters all the time. I'm like, no, don't do that. I'm like, yeah, yes, hell yeah, do it, good for you. Like, I get really, really into it. It's just me just being giddy about film, man. I love it. It's the air I breathe. It's just, I'm obsessed with it. I think it's the most magical thing. I think it's the closest thing to magic we have in the world. So just my obsession with that, how giddy I get about that, it's just, I think, who I really am.
I think you inadvertently answered the question you couldn't answer before. I think we got an answer.
What was it?
The way I'm defining it is, so that question we needed more time on was how to open ourselves up more.
Yeah.
And the vibe I get from you is, you were saying the version of yourself when no one else is looking, the most authentic you is just being giddy about stuff. But you said it was because your drive of passion. So the way I see it is, it's when you can stop worrying about what other people think and just worry about, like, what do you love? So, it's like, get rid of the fear. What's the love? Like, what do you love?
Yeah.
And then just focus your attitude on that. I think you don't even have to force anything at that point, because if you're just focusing on what excites you, your natural personality floats out. And for you, it's getting giddy. It's having these heated discussions on film and whatever they're talking about. So
I think you're right, man. I think it's really smart what you just said. Forget about the fear, or at least say, let's put the fear aside for now. What do I love? I think that'll give you an answer of what to start putting your attention towards. And the more you start putting your attention towards something you love, that'll bring out passion, and that passion will attract. You'll meet other people who are passionate, and you'll make friends, and you can just share that passion together. And that's the greatest thing about life, man, is sharing your passion with other passionate people. It's like the greatest thing.
Yeah. Do you, or what do you find yourself comparing to other people a lot? Do you have any little things? It might not be film. It might just be some other aspect of your life that you just, for whatever reason, has you fall back into comparing yourself to.
Oh yeah, man, for sure. Like, I mean, I'm sure you'll get it. You were in comedy for a while. Physicality, for sure. Like, there's so many people who are just like ripped and like gorgeous, and I'm just like, oh my god. Like, I'm in shape. Like, I take care of myself, definitely, and but I'm definitely nowhere near like some of these people on TV. And every once in a while, I'm just like, God. Like, I take care of myself. Like, I'm in good shape, but like this dude, and like I don't know. I think that, like, I don't know, that they just have so much more than I do, because they have TV and they have that, and it's just like, I don't know. I, for sure, for me, it's physically being like a male, and being relatively fit. They're gonna ask, like, why aren't you super crazy fit? Like, why aren't you ripped? That's what they want to see on TV. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I don't want to do all that. Like, I like working out, but maybe not to that extent. I like eating clean, but maybe not to that extent. So it's definitely the physical side of things, which I combat myself with all the time.
Sure.
That's a struggle with me, is being more acceptive of that.
What have you done to overcome that from taking over?
Ooh, it's funny, maybe it's hypocritical, but I do work out more. I'm eating cleaner than I ever have before now. I do like a meal prep service thing to make it easy. So combat it, I just take action on it. I just taking action on it. I'm working out more, I'm eating more, I'm eating cleaner. So it's really taking action on it, and that's all I can really do, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's fine to use that as an initial motivator, but I think ultimately, as long as you're realizing, all right, I initially did this because, I find myself always comparing.
Yeah.
I think that's fine as a start, but I think ultimately, as long as it's, all right, I started for that, but I'm ultimately doing it because I want to bring the best package of myself that I can.
Yeah.
I think that helps kind of round that out.
No, yeah, it is making it more personal. You only can do it for exterior reasons for so long. You gotta have some inside reasons to do it for yourself. That's definitely true.
Okay. When do you find you're the most vulnerable?
I mean, on set in a way, because you have to be.
That's
in
true,
a way.
yeah, exactly.
And all the films that I make, they're all like, maybe I should do better at like masking what I'm trying to say in my personal life, but they're all real close to home for me. So a lot of my personal issues I put into my films, and I work on my personal issues on set on these films. So definitely on film sets for sure.
Yeah. And I'm sure because there's deadlines and certain contracts you have to follow, there's a lot of pressure. So how do you deal when the pressure is on?
The pressure is on. I read a book on leadership. Have you read it? It's called Extreme Ownership.
By Jocko Willink. I haven't read it yet, but Navy SEAL, but I like to know a lot about him, and his talks on that are intense.
Very intense. I just picture myself, if pressure's on, I'm leading people around me, whether I know it or not, so I better stay calm, cool, and collected, just say, what do I need to do right now? What do I need to do right now? What can I do right now? And it's really just all I try to do is focus on, okay, something's going wrong, pressure's on, what do I need to do? This needs to be fixed over here, okay, I'm gonna go fix that, and then what's next? Okay, this person needs to be calmed down because of this, okay, that's next. What's next? We need to get cameras back up. That's next. Okay, go take care of that, calm this person down, and then get back to cameras going up once that's done. So it's really just step by step by step what needs to be done to get the job done, which is what he talks about in the book. He says there's an overall, you need to know what that overall mission is, that every Marine on the platoon needs to know what purpose we're serving, and if problems come up, you need to go, they spell it out A, B, C, D to get back to your mission as quick as possible. So fix everything needs to be fixed to get back on the mission as quick as possible.
Awesome. Final question I like to end on is finding your aha moment. What was your, I guess you kind of answered this before, but what was your breakthrough moment where you realized the person you need to be in order to get where you want to go?
The aha moment was I wanted to be ultimately seen as this creative person that's doing things, and I was like, what is the best way to be seen that way? And I was like, create jobs for creative people. So I was like, I need to start creating films. So it was really the aha moment was, I want to be this creative person. How can I be this creative person? How about I employ creative people on my film sets? And that way people are seeing me hiring creative people. That makes me a pretty creative person to create projects, to hire creative people. And that was it. I know I just said creative like a million times, but to me, that was really it. It's the same way of like, if you want to have a job, create jobs in a way. Make your job creating jobs and you'll never be out of work. Same way with film, I think. That was my really aha moment, I would say. And as far as my unreasonable films go, when I decided it was an aha moment that I really wanted to keep making films, like, I don't just want to do these 12 films and be done. I want to be a filmmaker for the rest of my life, was when I made the movie based on my family's divorce in real life, and I just felt such a wave of personal relief come out of it, where I was able to let a lot of hurtful feelings go through making that film. I could see how powerful film could be for the filmmaker. I was like, I want to keep expressing myself forever in film. I want to keep dealing with my issues on film sets, because it was crazy how I had so much anger and hurt and heartbreak that could have taken years to deal with, but one night of shooting took it all out of me, and I was able to go back to being a loving person towards my family. That was a huge aha moment for me, was, I'm going to be a filmmaker forever. Not just I want to make films, but I just need to express myself. I just need to put how I feel out there. And if the world likes it, that's great, but I just need to do it for me. Like, if I have issues that I'm working on, I need to put them in films and work on them through these films. And maybe people can work on their own issues that way too, by seeing me work through my issues on films.
Yeah, that was something we didn't really get into here before we recorded. It was a really cool story. He was saying about how one of the 12 films he made, it was, as he just said, documenting his parents and what was going on with his family, and how that almost ended up being a whole cathartic experience for you, because it released it all, and without that you didn't know if you were ever going to be able to do that. And that was that brought up a really whole bigger picture on filmmaking as a whole and what you were trying to do. And I didn't think I was ever going to be able to give my mom, who left my dad, which no one in the family saw coming, and I never thought I was going to be able to let it go. And after we wrapped that film set, it was just like it never had happened, like night and day. The moment we were like, cut, that's a wrap, I couldn't believe it. I felt like a whole different person. I was just like, oh my God. I called my mom the next day. We wrapped at like 5 a.m. So like 3 hours later I called her, and I was like, hey, I want to talk with you. How are you doing? And my mom told me that she thought she had lost me forever. She thought that we were never going to be close again. And she doesn't know it's that film. I haven't told her if it exists. But it's because of that film, man. And I'm just going to continue to work on myself through films, I think, forever. I think that's awesome. That encompasses everything you've talked about here, from being able to express yourself, from taking your mask off, which, by the way, I feel like you making that film was like taking another mask off, of just like trying to stow all that pain away. So that's the big thing, right? Is we hold on to so much pain. If you hadn't made that movie, like you said, you could have easily just held on to that grudge and that hatred against your family and maybe never have spoken to your mom, but you healed it, and now you're totally rebuilding that relationship, which is big. That's something everyone can take away from that. And that's cool that this isn't just a job for you, it's your way to literally creatively express what's going on, not just
Yeah.
In your mind, but in your life.
Oh yeah. If people, my films, sometimes they're more hidden what I'm feeling.
Sure.
Sometimes they're more like in your face, but
Sure.
every film is an attempt to express my feelings on something that's going on in my life.
That's awesome. And I think people should apply that to any job they have, is find a way to express your feelings. And I feel like you can definitely figure out a way in any job to do that.
Totally can.
Awesome. Social medias, you said it before, was at Torrey Drake.
Yeah, Instagram's at Torrey Drake, TorreyDrake, and I am on Twitter, but I don't post anything on Twitter. So Instagram is the best way to get a hold of me.
Okay.
And yeah, if anyone out there wants to follow, please reach out and let's start a conversation. Whether you're a filmmaker or not, I'd love to help out any way I can.
There you go, guys. Torrey, thank you for
coming. Hey man, thank you for having me.
Yes,
what a good time. What a great thing you're doing for people. Really trying to help people sort their shit out in a way, to put it bluntly.
And hopefully help others along the way that are listening in. So we'll build that community.
Sounds a good job.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.